Todd does his usual stretches.
Todd does the bike that he won the TT with. Here we go.
Revs
are up already, and it's about getting off the line. And again, Davey Todd is such a great starter. I think next motocross rider. Very, very good off the line. There he goes again. Dean Harrison there in second place. He got a very good start as well. Let's have a look where Michael Dunlop is. He didn't get a very good start last night. He is there in third, isn't he?
Todd away out in front from Harrison. Dean Harrison, that is, who is right with him. Then a little bit of a break to...
Oh my goodness, that was very, very close from someone there in about 7th or 8th place.
Yeah, Dunlop it is, coming down into third place by the looks of it.
Yeah, he is.
Todd leads the way into Iron Gate on the opening lap.
Whoa, a big moment there for someone exiting out of Ballakagan.
Might have been Paul Jordan, I think, potentially, looking at it as they've gone up into Ballabeg for the first time then. So Todd from Harrison. And then in third spot it is Mike Browne, I think, who's got himself up from the second row into third, but Michael Dunlop alongside him in fourth. So it's Todd from Dean Harrison, from Mike Browne, from Michael Dunlop as they head out through Ballawhetstone.
7-lap race, this one. The big race, the championship race at the end of the day, is 9 laps. That's a long race.
Those extra 2 laps will make all the difference potentially, just in terms of being able to sight one another up. They're using this as an opportunity just to get themselves all settled in, ready for that big solo championship race. But it's a race win in its own right that they are battling for, and it's Todd out front, who has been on dominant form. He took those 2 wins last night.
Dino right up his exhaust pipe as they come out there. You can see these big 1000cc machines with lots of power really wriggling around. They're wrestling them over the top, particularly when they come out of the Billown dip.
Yep, Todd, of course, he just missed out to Browne in the opening 600 race this morning that these guys were all in. Harrison is sticking right with him this time. Harrison doesn't want to let him get away. It's Todd, though, from Dean Harrison. And Dunlop just shows himself out to the right-hand side a little bit against Mike Browne, as well as the rest stream on through.
Browne got through on Dunlop somewhere.
It's up to third, so Dean Harrison just sit. Ooh, a bit of a jink there from Todd just as he gets
Dunlop's down on the inside on the dirty part of the track.
Can he make it work? Can he make it work?
He does. He jams it down the inside, but he's compromised his exit speed. It slowed them all down really quite a bit. It's given quite an advantage that Davey Todd and Dean Harrison have over that. So it is Michael Dunlop now into third, but he's nearly 3 seconds back.
And Nathan Harrison is behind that battle between Dunlop and Browne in 5th place, with Michael Sweeney in 6th, Ernan Costamo 7th, Paul Jordan 8th, Jamie Coward in 9th, and Rob Hodson rounding out the top 10 after the end of the opening lap of this Aleman Steampacker Company senior race. Still 6 laps to go.
Desperate move there from Michael Dunlop on the dirty part of the track, jammed it down the inside of Mike Browne. He'll be looking at that gap, and as I said, when they went over the line, it was close on 3 seconds.
Yeah, you'll realise those front 2 are getting away, and he won't have wanted to be stuck behind Browne if he can get past him and see what he can do, see if he can make any inroads into these front 2. Dean Harrison is sticking right with Davey Todd. There is Dunlop.
And I think we're going to get a bit of a replay off the start line. And this is the moment coming out of there. I can't quite see who loses the rear end of their bike there. There it is, out of the seat. You wouldn't want to be behind that. It was scary enough being on it, but following also.
Very, very impressive to stay on the thing. As Todd and Harrison make their way out through the back of the course on lap 2, out through Billown Dip and into cross four-ways once more.
Dunlop has really gapped Michael Browne on this half of the course.
Todd, Harrison, then as you say a gap to Dunlop, who has then opened up an advantage over Browne, with Nathan Harrison right behind Mike Browne now in 4th and 5th, and Michael Sweeney in 6th. Up at the front, though, Harrison is doing his best to stick absolutely with Todd, and it's just whether or not the Honda that he has got the power to do anything about the BMW.
Well, these are both super stock machines. I shouldn't think there's an awful lot of difference in performance on them. They are pretty much on road gearing. Dean Harrison told me they don't bother changing the gearing with the stocker. It pulls about 185, something like that, as they head over the start-finish line down to Ballakagan.
See Browne then and Nathan Harrison in that battle for 4th place. Nathan has been going so well this season. That 4th place in the Superbike TT really did set his whole year up fantastically well, and he's rolling on from there. Impressive results for him,
and got a podium in the first race
as Dunlop streams through ahead of those 2. He's not able to do Nathan Harrison anything about Browne on the run down into Ballakagan, but there are our front 2. Harrison still doing his best to stick with Todd. Maybe just a bike length between them now where there wasn't before. Todd just maybe eking away very, very slightly. But Harrison will come back under braking for sure. So out through Iron Gate and on to Joey's where the gate will be open.
Yep, it will be. Hopefully they don't need to use it. That gap's gone out though. Dunlop now, what about close on 4 seconds back, 3 and a bit.
Not able to do anything about it. And Harrison isn't really getting to Todd to affect his race at all, so those front two are on their own pure pace. They're not tripping over one another at all. In behind though, Nathan Harrison is looking very close in on Mike Browne. Mike Browne on the bike we think that Dean Harrison rode here last year. As the front two come over the top of the rise and then down into Billown Dip and out towards Cross Fourways on this third lap.
Interested to see what this lap will be. Last time around it was only a 2:12. I say only a 2:12. They're working hard to do that. But of course we know that the outright lap record here is a 2:10.
The race lap record for this particular race is a 2:11.3, so they're about 0.8 of a second off that. We'll keep an eye on that as they go through. Out through Church Bends once more, all about how brave you want to be and how close you want to get to that stone wall on the inside. It does create some unbelievable photos. Jamie Coward the other night was practically brushing the wall through there. He was straight back into it. There is Dunlop on the way down. Browne has still got Nathan Harrison right with him for company, and Michael Sweeney is doing his best to stick with them as well. Then Costamo and Paul Jordan behind them in 7th and 8th, with Jamie Coward and Rob Hodson rounding out the top 10. Nathan Harrison then with Browne, and Sweeney is keeping a watching brief just in behind. Anything happens to these these two ahead of him, he will look to take advantage. That is in the battle for 4th, 5th and 6th.
Yeah, good run this is, trying to keep the front wheel down as they scream along here. So, as I said, just a little bit of a crosswind slightly behind them. You can see from the flags up the top there, it's probably about 10 knots, something like that, 12 miles an hour.
Fastest lap of the race for Davey Todd on lap 3. 2 minutes 11.5. He's only 0.2 of a second off that Dean Harrison lap record for this particular race, not the outright lap record for the course, which is 2:10.8. So a little bit further to go to get to that, but they will, I'm sure, be there by this afternoon. As Browne still holds Nathan Harrison at bay, with Sweeney closing right in that battle for 4th, 5th and 6th. So Todd then leading at the end of lap 3 by 0.4 of a second from Harrison, with then 4.5 seconds back to Michael Dunlop. Then this battle between Browne, Harrison and Sweeney. Paul Jordan and Jamie Coward 7th and 8th. Rob Hodson and Mikey Evans rounding out the top 10. Just to go a little bit beyond the top 10. Joe Yearsley in 11th. Marcus Simpson in 12th. Kevin Keys 13th. 14th for Sam West. Erna Costamo dropping down to 15th now, but Brian McCormack up to 16th. Then Grant Thompson, Matt Stevenson, Barry Ferber and Keith Pringle rounding out the top 20. Harrison had a look though, didn't he?
He did have a look, yeah, he did have a look there. A scary place to be doing it with the front wheel up in the air, doing about 150 miles an hour.
He won't be giving it up, that's for sure. He's got plenty more chances to come. We're just about at half distance, halfway round lap 4 of 7, so just about half race distance in this Aleman Steampacker Company senior race.
It'd just be interesting to know if the Dean Harrison time that's been set, the outright, was on a full-on superbike. Because it was set back in 2000 and, where are we, 22.
22, when he was probably on the Kawasaki at the time, so
yeah,
it might well have been.
I would have said it was the full superbike, I would have thought, because you're not going to get better conditions than what we've got here today. The wind isn't really affecting them too much, the sun is out, the track's getting better and better. You can see the dark lines that are being laid by all the rubber that's down there.
Nathan's just had to hold station. He just has to, having had that go, he now just needs to reassess himself and just line himself up to have another chance. But he's got Sweeney. He'll be hearing Sweeney right behind him.
Yeah, you can easily have a go at it and then leave the door open for Sweeney to come through as well.
Browne has just opened up a little bit of a gap over Nathan Harrison. Can Harrison punch through the gap in the air to get closer to him on the run into Ballachagan?
2:11.091.
That is a race lap record.
Davey Todd.
For Davey Todd, that breaks Dean Harrison's lap record from 2022 for this particular race, not the outright superbike lap record, just this particular race record, but still. Oh, a jink there for Browne.
Wheel up in the air on the bumps.
They are well familiar now with this course, so that possibly would have taken him a bit by surprise, Mike Browne, that happened there, because we haven't seen that on any of the previous laps. As Michael Dunlop is in to Ballabeg, Dunlop is out there riding his own little race as well. He's about 5 seconds off Harrison, with a gap then behind him about 5 seconds as well. So Dunlop out doing his own thing in third place. 0.4 of a second between Todd and Harrison. Dunlop, Browne and Nathan Harrison then in fifth, with Michael Sweeney right with them in sixth. Then Paul Jordan, Rob Hodson, Jamie Coward and Mikey Evans rounding out the top 10 at the end of lap 4.
Well, there's no lack of commitment from Michael Dunlop there at the moment, but he is dropping away. That gap is getting bigger and bigger. His lap times are getting on for 2 seconds slower.
Harrison closing right in on Browne here. Can he do anything about this into the braking 4 cross 4 ways? He might have to be a bit bold up the inside. He's going to try and be, is he? No, just backs out him a little bit there. Just realises not going to happen. Just keep giving himself the opportunity. We've still got plenty of laps to go here for Nathan Harrison to try and get past Mike Browne in this battle for 4th and 5th place. That is fascinating us, with Sweeney sat right behind them in 6th as well. And Harrison, in fact, takes a different line down for Great Meadow.
Oh, front wheel up in the air, lost a bit of ground at that point, but he's through the big dip, through the bump there.
Then Sweeney. Then here we have Jackson leading, Paul Jordan, leading Rob Hodson and Jamie Coward as they come through, as we concentrate back on this battle. Doesn't seem to try anything down into Castletown, Nathan. He just sits in position and tries to maybe just wait for his opportunity to come elsewhere on the lap, particularly on this run down to Ballakegan. Can he do anything here? Heads right down on the tanks, eking everything they can out of these bikes.
Dean Harrison, 2:10.9.31.
Wow, 1/10 of a second now outside of outright lap record pace for Dean Harrison. Wow.
Wow, they're on it, properly on it.
Absolutely, we might expect to see that go potentially on the next lap. Harrison's doing his best to stick with Davey Todd, and he is still right with him, about 0.4 of a second between them, between Todd and Harrison out at the front. Then Michael Dunlop. Last lap for Michael Dunlop was a 2:13 against the 2:11s that Todd did, and the 2:10.9 for Harrison. So Dunlop's pace not quite there on the MD Racing machine. Sweeney closing right in, then Paul Jordan, then Jamie Coward, then Rob Hodson.
They're having fun in the sun, those boys.
And Michael Evans behind them, rounding out the top 10. They are all loving their day. What a ride this must be in
really
such gorgeous conditions.
Again, wriggling around there, a lot of horsepower underneath them at that point.
Nathan Harrison's is always a bit headstrong coming over that rise, it seems. But he's right up with
right
Browne again.
In the braking zone, but it's a very tight place to pass there for cross.
He's trying.
He's
gone
got it. He's got it. He's got it.
Can he keep hold? Can he keep hold? Goes out a little bit wide on the exit, but he's maintained that. So Harrison up to 4th place, then overhauls Mike Browne. So it's Todd from Dean Harrison, Michael Dunlop, and now Nathan Harrison up to 4th.
Oh, right out in the grass, in the dirty stuff there from Nathan Harrison.
Harrison now wanting to try and get on with things, having got rid of Mike Browne. Finally, he's been behind it for quite a few laps, trying and looking for the opportunity. Eventually found it into cross 4 ways, realised he had to be a bit bold. It does look a bit headstrong, that H&H Honda. Maybe it's just Harrison pushing a bit more than he has previously. End of lap 6 then, out onto the final lap. Final lap flag being shown, and Todd continues to lead. And it's 2:10.870 for Dean Harrison. He's just outside, literally like 5/100ths of a second outside of the outright lap record.
Last lap. Has Dean got anything? Has Dean Harrison been sandbagging any which way? Has he got anywhere in the course? Is there any corners, any places, braking areas he can do it? The best, if you can do it, and if you can get away with it, is out of Stadium Bends into Castletown Corner. What's he got, Dean Harrison? Of course, the results was this last time out. Last night it was Todd from Harrison in the race, first race last night.
And he's right with him. There's only 1/4 of a second between them. It's just whether or not Harrison, he might have to try a similar pass to what Nathan Harrison tried. Just try and lunge it up the inside, maybe into cross 4 ways, might be his best opportunity.
Yeah, but then you can bet your life that Todd would have a go going down into the last corner.
Todd will be wise for it as well and be defensive, you maybe think, just on the run. Here we go.
Todd's fast through that section, isn't he? Very fast through there.
He's opened up a couple of bike lengths there. That might just be enough to do the job, yeah. Yeah, no chance for Dean to try anything there. So Dean's up through Church and then Great Meadow. Maybe one chance left through Stadium and Castletown Corner. So they make their way up to Church.
Last corner job if it's going to happen.
Stream on through Great Meadow. In behind it is, as we know, Michael Dunlop out there in third place. Then Nathan Harrison in fourth, and Mike Browne and Michael Sweeney. But it's this battle at the front into Castletown Corner.
I think it's Todd that's got it.
There's Dunlop. Here we go. Yeah, Dean doesn't look close enough to try anything here.
He's just got to get it out the corner, get the drive out of it. He will do. The BMW is quick. He'll lean over the front, the bike up through the gears. First, second, third, grabbing fourth, stamping gears. And here it is, a win, another win.
A big bike double and a hat-trick at 700-100 for Davey Todd on the BMW 810 Racing by Motorrad Machine from Dean Harrison on the Honda. Michael Dunlop due to come through to finish in third. Here he is. Completes the Dunlop. Completes the podium. Does Dunlop.
Good ride there from Nathan Harrison. Really good. He got away from Mike Browne, so he'll be pretty happy with that, and his lap times.
He will indeed. It was Dunlop who was in fourth, Harrison who was third last night, so they've switched positions in this one today. Dunlop makes the podium from Harrison. Then Mike Browne has finished in fifth, with Michael Sweeney in sixth. Paul Jordan shows seventh. Jamie Coward in eighth. Ninth for Rob Hodson, rounding out the top 10 for Mikey Evans.